Welcome back to another episode of Wolf Family Therapy. I am your host, Jamie Wolf, joined by my co-host, Tyler Wolf, as always, and my good friend and talented stand-up comedian, actor, and writer, Moe Yaqub is on the show.
Yeah.
And director.
Your mic isn't on, Mo.
Oh. Yeah. What a great start. Yeah. Definitely not tech savvy, but he still writes on typewriters. There's a reason why.
Mo, you're Pakistani from Pakistan.
Yes, correct. Thank you for saying it correctly, too.
Yep, yeah.
Did you know that?
That it's Pakistan?
See, you said it wrong right away.
Even after I said it right.
Yeah.
That was the joke, but thanks.
Wow.
Well, you're...
Somebody does comedy, am I right?
No jokes on the pod, Mo.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My bad.
So, Mo, what the fuck is that like?
Not like Williamsburg at all. Just the complete opposite of Williamsburg.
Yeah, a bit different.
Yeah. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Wolf Family Therapy. The doctors today are Jamie and Tyler, and the appointment will start briefly. Thank you for patiently waiting. The brothers will see you now.
What?
I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna get killed after this. Let's find him. He's still in. I don't know.
Let's talk about why you feel that way. Do you think it could be a result of your upbringing and being scared of Jews?
No.
Just a real long pause. Okay. All right. So you grew up in the slums, the poorest part of Pakistan.
Yeah, I did.
It's a really come from your salt of the earth.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us what it was like with no shoes, no roof.
Going to the toilet into your brother's mouth.
Yeah. In a bucket.
For food.
We used to call him Bucket.
A bucket, which is my brother Bucket.
Yeah. We're ready. One by one. No. I grew up, well.
Yeah, you grew up with money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Are you allowed to say on the podcast
how much money?
No, not that.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah,
we can believe
what your grandparents did.
Yeah. So I come because but probably you don't know, and people who are listening.
Yeah,
don't
people
know.
Listening probably don't. James told me.
Yeah. My grandfather was very famous. You know, religious scholar / poet, you can say, or the Arabic term is qari. He was like the first non-Saudi person ever to recite the Quran on like Saudi national radio.
Wow.
He has like the history. Yeah. There are people that did it after him, but he was like the first.
Yeah.
So the Eminem of Islam, basically, was my grandfather. So I come from like that family.
This guy can't speak. He's from Pakistan.
So that's my grandfather, and we had a lot of money growing up, and but then my dad's side of the family had no money. My mom's side of the family had all the money.
Yes.
So
but you grew up with money?
Like, how do you say? I was around money all the time.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up with money, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It's similar to our upbringing.
Yeah, that's very similar to ours.
Yeah. Because like my parents got married when they were really young.
How young? Is this going to be
17, 19 probably.
Phew, okay.
Yeah. 9, 8, 9. But they were like supposed to get married to each other before they were like really young, and they were like, hey, when they grow up,
destined for
we're gonna get them married.
It was
like arranged or
yeah.
Like it wasn't they were 12 like we're gonna get married later.
But it was arranged from like childhood.
Yeah from childhood.
Yeah.
At that time we all used to live in the village. We're all really poor. And then my grandfather, who became famous, he moved to the city. He became famous and rich and had a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And then my dad's side of the family was like, well,
you already promised.
Promise is a promise.
No way. And then your mom's side of the family honored it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very honorable.
And they're all really rich. But then my dad's side of the family are all still to this day extremely poor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like farmers in a village in Pakistan.
Is that poor? No, I'm kidding.
That is very poor.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. yeah, I think like, yeah. I don't want to say more, but yeah.
I don't want to say. So would you describe your upbringing? It's around money, but does that kind of translate to middle class? Or are you upper?
The thing is, I was around so much money that it was like kind of like weird and crazy. Like one of my uncles used to work at the UN, you know. Like I have a joke about this where I say my dad because I couldn't be like, so when one of my uncles, but it won't work. But anyway, we had an ostrich in our house as a pet.
Okay.
For a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it was.
That's not normal out there?
No. That's not normal anywhere. That's not even normal in Australia. They're like, well, that guy must be rich. He has an ostrich as a pet.
You said a few days. Why? Because it did not work out?
Yeah.
Ostriches are really aggressive. Did you eat it?
Yeah.
Actually ate it?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Oh, that wasn't a joke?
Because we were like, well, what are we going to do with it? And I'm like, well, they eat their eggs.
They're really aggressive, dude. Ostriches are mean. They like hurt people.
It was so the way we brought the ostrich to our house too was we had like servants growing up, and all I remember is I wake up, it's early in the morning, I open my curtains, I see a pickup truck rolling into the house. At the back, there's just this like weird bird tied with ropes.
Oh my
with like a bunch of like servants just holding the ropes at the other end so it won't fall over.
Jesus.
And then we were like, "Yep, that's Gary. He's gonna live with us now."
What did he just roam the hallways?
We had like a big garden area,
Okay.
so he would be there. He like. Ostriches are so hot.
They can run like 40 miles an hour, right? Isn't that an ostrich?
Yeah. And they're really aggressive too.
Yep, we had it like tied, you know, but it would like hit. So like around him, there was just holes because he would like just dig his head inside the ground.
You never got
so
pet.
hot.
Did you get the pet the ostrich?
Fuck
That's
no.
not a good idea.
Fuck no. It would just be like this the whole time, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
how big was it? It was probably gigantic compared to you as a child.
To me, when I was a kid,
Humongous.
I was like, "Oh my god, dinosaur!"
Yeah.
You know? I already thought Jurassic Park was real, so I was like, "Well,
holy fuck!"
Yeah, we're birthing one in our backyard." Yeah.
Had you seen the movie Jurassic Park and then you got an ostrich? That's the scariest thing ever for a kid.
And then it lays an egg that's like the size of your head, and you're like, "Oh my god, they are real." What the fuck?
I'm gonna be their father. I'm just sitting on the egg for no reason. Give it warm so it knows I'm the mother.
So why did you get rid of it eventually? Did it hurt
maintenance, you know, and stuff. And we're like, well, what are we supposed to do with this?
With the ostrich?
Just ate it. Yes, we just ate it.
Much.
I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure my uncle exclusively got it because he was like, no, I think I'm gonna eat it.
Oh, he wanted to have ostrich. Was it good when you ate it?
I don't remember.
Okay, but you know you ate it.
That's that's
100%.
low key kind of G shit. To just be like, let me get a pet that no one else in the world probably has, and then eat it 4 days later.
That's what like Floyd Mayweather does,
right? Yeah.
Like really famous boxers do shit like that.
Yeah. I have a shark, but I'm gonna devour it in a few days.
See, that's how you can't call it a pet though. I don't know.
Yeah, it's more of a farm, closer to a farm animal, like a domesticated animal, not a pet.
And I got attached to this goat. I would like feed it every day.
I see where this is going.
I would feed it every day, and I was like, I love this goat. You know, I would like hug it every day.
And then what happened?
And then
mid-dinner.
And then
hey, where's the goat?
yeah. I don't hear him. Bye. Like, what the hell? Do you know Eid? So that's a festival that Muslims celebrate, where it's like in the celebration of whatever happened between like Abraham and his kid, where God was like, hey, you should sacrifice your kid. And he did. And right before he was like doing the knife thing, a goat appeared. So now we like sacrifice these goats, you know,
instead of
your kids,
your children.
Yeah, your kids, what you're really supposed to do. But, and so we commemorate that. And that's what we got the goat for. But I did not know. Oh. And right before we were about to do this, my dad was like, okay. And I just started bawling.
Oh, no.
We had butchers in our house, and I just started bawling. I was like, no, but I love this. He goes like, no, it's for the greater good. My dad is such an asshole. He made me hold the knife.
No.
Oh, my God. This is how you become a man.
Really?
And I was like, I don't want to do this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So you kind of got back at him, though, by being a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Definitely. More than that, by not getting married. I'm 30 and I'm not married, and that to him is more.
That's bigger.
Concerning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why is that? he wants grandchildren, or it's not culturally. People probably get married younger.
Yeah. I think it's more of a cultural thing. Where
Okay.
He's like, well, too old. He keeps telling me when I was 30, I had all of you guys.
Yeah.
And you were like going to school and blah blah.
By the time I was 30, I'd already made you massacre a goat with your bare hands. You gotta have kids.
Don't you want to pass on the trauma somehow?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you just gonna keep talking about it or actually do this shit?
Were there a lot of? Yeah, go ahead.
Legit, last time I was in Pakistan, like one of where we live, one of the neighbors, the guy was honking the horn early in the morning. It was just me and my dad in the living room. And I was like, what is he doing? He goes like, something that you should be doing. I was like, what? You're just honking for a little kid to like come down so you could like drop him off at school. I was like, I wish you were doing that right now.
I wish you were berating your child right now.
Okay. Yeah. Do your siblings have kids?
Yeah, my older sister has 2 kids.
Okay, so what's he care about?
Yeah, but then she lives in London,
Oh,
and then my 2 younger brothers, they still live back home in Pakistan. And they just got married. They got married last year.
They both just got married? Not to each other, right?
No.
Can you do first cousin marriages in Pakistan?
Yeah.
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 That's
It's
good.
legal.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good thing, but
That's legal and encouraged.
Do you go home often?
I didn't have a green card for a long time, but now I do. So then I went last year, like twice in 1 year.
Nice.
I traveled a lot last year.
Yeah. You can get back in with the green card.
Yep.
Before that, you can't.
Before
really
that,
leave.
no. And it was so crazy. Like, it kept getting better every time I crossed border control, like as a green card holder. First time I went to London, came back, and they saw my green card. They're like, so, did you get it through marriage? And I was like, no, I got it through work. And the guy looked at me. I was like, what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah.
He didn't believe you?
No. And he was like, go into that other room.
No
I was
way.
like, okay. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Right.
So I like grabbed my things. And I just came from London and I loved it so much. I was like, fuck it. Kick me out. I'll go there. And then I like started walking, I had a great sets. And I was like, I can do way better there. And I was like walking. This girl was like, where are you going? And I was like, that guy told me to go in this room. She was like, no, stand here. And then I heard him talking to the other guy. He goes like, hey man, can you get a green card through work?
He didn't know.
He didn't even know. Yeah. And then they were like, yeah, it would say like AB something 3 over here. So that means it's like, and then he looked over and he just saw me hearing him. And he goes like, I told you, started yelling at me. I told you to go in. Yeah. I told you to go in. Why are you still standing here? I was like, I'm sorry.
He was
This
just
girl
mad
like,
that you embarrassed.
Yeah.
Not embarrassed him when you heard that.
Yeah.
And then the lady was like, well, I told him, okay, go in. And then he came in and then he like stamped my thing. I was like, okay, you can go.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
This was a
okay.
person working customs and
Yeah,
immigration.
yeah.
Was this guy
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
white?
That guy was black.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I looked at the line. I was like, who will be good? And I was like, the black guy. So I walked
And then
in.
he didn't even know.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And then second time I was in Pakistan. I was
Yeah.
kind of nervous, because I was like, I'm in Pakistan. I haven't been there in 10 years. I came back.
This
guy
is
was-
last year?
Yeah.
Was your first time there in 10 years?
Yeah.
Oh,
in
shit.
10 years. The guy was British. And I was like, okay, that's change of pace. And then he was like, all right, where are you coming from? And I was like, Pakistan. He was like, all right, that's great. Where do you live? And blah, blah. He questioned me a bit. He's damn. He was like, go.
This is coming back into the U.S.?
Yeah. Third time, it was through Dubai. I went to Dubai, came back. There's a lady. She was like, that's when I really felt it. Because she was like, oh, Mohtasham, okay, stamped it, gave me my passport and my green card. She was like, welcome home. And I was like,
Whoa.
fuck yeah, welcome home.
Home.
Then last time I was in Pakistan,
Yeah.
again, I came back.
Yeah.
The guy was legit talking to me in Urdu
Oh.
Oh,
at
nice.
border control.
Whoa.
He was
Holy
there and
shit.
he was Pakistani too. He saw my passport. He was like, in my language, he was like, so did you bring any sweets? And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, no. He goes like, okay, have a great day. And I was like, all right, this was fun. So it kept getting better.
Damn.
Yeah. Next time I come through, I like look back, I'm wearing the uniform. For something. I was like, what the fuck? is
Stamping
that?
your own.
Okay. Next. But yeah.
Damn. Why is that? Is it because... Why is
I
that?
don't know. I think they just like
that.
first time they have somebody. But I have an immigration lawyer, and he was like, you have nothing to hide. you're like an upstanding citizen, you have no criminal record.
Yeah.
You have to realize, like, America is, apart from Mexico and Canada, is all water around.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can, you know, like, limit threats from outside world, you know. So it's okay if they, like, thoroughly check you, you know. I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense.
But
As an American, I would.
But why
want
would
that.
they get less and less gung ho
Because I've,
about
like,
it?
gone.
They can see
Oh, they
the
see
history,
that you've
right?
gone in
yeah.
and out.
Yep.
Okay,
They
wouldn't
have the
more
whole
travel
record.
be more suspicious?
Not really, because they see, okay, he was there, he came back.
Osama bin Laden at border control.
Yeah.
Well, he's been to Pakistan. Looks like 50 times in the past year. You're good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, come
He's
through,
always
you know.
doing this.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think they see, it's a frequent travelers aren't doing
Yes.
anything bad.
That's
you know
true.
what
Especially
I mean?
you're traveling
Yeah.
like all over the place.
Yeah.
You're not going to one city over and over.
Back and forth.
You need to
know.
be in one place to plot and scheme.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't have like meetings in different countries every time.
No, there's
you
no
know?
like platform where you could do that.
Yeah, I mean
Connect
the
with
UN,
people across
but
the
you
world.
know.
I meant
probably
Zoom,
not.
but yeah.
yeah. But probably that's why, you know.
Yeah.
Because I see the activity. They literally they have files on everybody, and
Well-
they literally have everything. You know, so I'm sure I'm fine.
When did you get your green card, and what was that like?
Last year, it took me 10 years to get my green card.
Did you apply 10 years ago?
So I had to get it through work. So there's like certain ways you can get a green card. It's either through marriage or through work. You know.
And this guy didn't know one of the two ways to get them.
He's like, really? Without marriage? What the fuck? I thought they all were married to someone.
Guy comes in with a Swiss passport. This doesn't look like an American passport.
Yeah. What is that?
He doesn't
Where
even
did
know
you
there's
get
different
this?
passports.
Yeah. Where did you get this?
This is clearly fake.
Fake.
Yeah, this is-
Obviously not.
Sir,
Look,
did you
it doesn't
draw
even
at
say
home?
U.S. It says
Yeah.
Switzerland
Yeah.
on the front.
What is that?
Yeah.
He doesn't know other countries exist.
Yeah.
What is that place?
No, but I have a visa for the U.S. Yeah, but the passport, is that a state that I don't know? He thinks it's a state.
Visa.
You think Switzerland is a state? Next to Alabama? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Red? Okay.
Red, sure.
What was I saying?
You were saying that you, to get your green card, it took 10 years.
Yeah, it took 10 years. And I had to get it through work, but you have to have like a company that sponsors you
Wow.
and are willing to like fund you.
So it's, oh, really? They have to pay?
Yeah.
How much do you know what they have to pay?
Like $15,000.
Holy fuck.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But also for multi-million-dollar corporations, that's nothing. That's chump
fair.
change.
Yeah.
But then also you
Yeah,
get
that's
into a
true.
lottery. It's not like willy-nilly. You get
Wait,
into
they
a lottery
pay it before or after?
before.
They pay to get
money
you
just
in
to
the lottery.
get into a lottery system?
Yeah. For green card, the lottery is like,
Oh, boy.
okay, if you don't get in, you know, next year you're still in the lottery system.
Oh,
But I
okay.
went through a work visa first.
Yeah.
Work visa is if you didn't get in this year, goodbye.
You're gone. Yeah.
They have like
And you didn't get it?
the first time I didn't get it. There's only 65,000 visas a year that are valid only for 3 years, and then you have to reapply again
Oh
after
my
3
God.
years, and to get into the lottery again after 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you came here as a college student.
Yeah, as a college student, the whole plan was just to get educated and go back, you know, and then you know,
You got Americanized.
yeah, I had sex with a white woman, and I was like, pretty good. I
Stay.
think
It was
I got
during
it.
orientation.
Yeah.
You're like, the place might be for me.
Yeah, I shook hands with a woman. And I was like, yes.
Wait, but does that mean there was a period where you were like illegally here?
No.
No? Even after like the student visa or whatever? You have
So then I
time to
applied
find
for a
a
work visa, and that got rejected. So then I went back to school and became a student again.
Oh, smart. Okay.
Yep, did
Got
my
it,
master's,
got it, got
and
it,
while
got
I
it.
was getting my
Oh, okay.
master's,
Yep.
applied again, got the visa.
Oh, then you got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Was on a work visa, got
Okay.
fired, had 2 months to find a new job.
Before your
That's
visa expired
stressful.
and you had to go back
Yeah,
home?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
They're like, you have 60 days, find a new job or go back home.
Oh, my God.
So
Why'd you get
then-
fired? Were you bad at your job?
Yes, 100%,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
not a great idea if you're relying on a
Yep.
visa. for
Yeah.
that
What
job.
were you doing? Can you talk about it?
Not working, you know.
No, what was your job?
I was an accountant, CPA.
Okay.
The thing was, that firm fucking racist, first of all. I was the only brown person there.
Really?
Yeah. When Trump got elected, they all came to my cubicle and they were like, "So, how do you feel?"
Really?
Yeah. Are you scared? And I was
In
like,
a
"Should I
checking on
be?"
you?
Wait, but how do you
Or-
know they're racist? That could be a liberal being too
You know the tone.
liberal.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Liberals are like, "Oh my God, are you scared? It's okay." And conservatives are like, "Are you scared, buddy?"
Oh, yeah.
Nobody cares for you. Like, "Oh, did that hurt?
Yeah.
Did that hurt?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like that message we're seeing?
Yeah.
Why? So that's the company that sponsored you originally?
No. Originally, yeah.
Why?
They sponsored me and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna sponsor you for your green card now, but you have to like work this many hours." And I was like, "Okay." I was putting in like 77 hours on average.
What?
Yeah, during tax season. And then they were like, "Well, it's only been a couple months. Let it be a year. We'll do a review again." Well, let it be another
So
tax
they were
season.
just fucking you over because they had a lot of power, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
They made me sign these papers. "Hey, if you work this much and do this, you'll get your green card." And I was like, "Okay." And at that time, I just started stand-up too. And I
And you're
knew
what,
where
like
this was.
25 or younger than that?
And I knew what this was going to end up as. So I just like stopped working. And I was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. I'll coast through and see what happens.
But then, how'd you find a new job after you got fired?
I'm good at job interviews.
Okay.
Yeah, every job interview, they're like, "Oh my God, how did we land this guy?" And then a weekend, they're like, "Yep, how did we land this guy, guys?"
Why?
Then
Then it goes
it's
from
like,
how to
why did
why.
we land?
Yeah.
Yeah, why did we land this guy? Yeah, I've been fired from every job I've ever had.
Yeah.
Really?
You told me that.
Yeah.
Didn't you recently get fired from a job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop working.
That's fun.
But now you have a green card. So
Now I have a
yeah,
green
so you're-
card, so now I'm
you're
like,
clean, yeah.
But I'm
Who
a great
gives
worker.
a fuck
though.
now?
Yeah, exactly.
But you said I'm a great worker after you just said I never work.
Yeah. If I do work,
You're fun in the office, though, right?
100%. 100%.
when
Good
you
energy.
I legit feel like sometimes they have me around just for morale.
I was
Yeah,
about to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
are you a morale guy?
Yeah. They're like, because like
Just for
my
fun.
internship too, when I was like doing an internship, I would do my work. And then I would just do a roundabout at the office and just go to
Nice.
everybody's queue.
Dude, that's fucking smart.
Dude, I
that's
would-
how you do it.
That's- yeah.
You become everyone's friend.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing
Yeah.
work-wise. I would like just not do the work, but I would never talk to people.
Really?
And that's you just,
Yeah, you're
that's
not doing anything.
sustainable.
You don't exist.
They don't. Well, actually, it is kind of helpful sometimes because they legit forget that you work for
Yeah.
the company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you're an
Yeah.
intern?
Yeah. Exactly.
I had after my internship interview, they were like, "You're the best." Like she was like, "I've been working at this company for like the past like 25 years. You're the best intern we've ever had." Because I wanted that sponsorship so bad.
Yeah.
I was like working till 11 p.m. at night, doing other people's work.
Wow.
And then on top of that, I would like take breaks where I would like make a round around the office. It was a circle office, so there were offices on the side and then cubes in the middle. And I would
So
make
you'd
a
hit
round.
everyone.
Every
you literally
office.
would make the round.
Yep, knock around.
Ted, we
like-
need anything?
Yeah,
Bob, how's
exactly,
the wife?
exactly. Hey, do you need anything? And then I was like, "So,
Carol,
how's it
did
going?"
you get a haircut?
Yeah. I legit would bring flowers to like the
Macy-
receptionist. You know,
Macy,
Really?
Yeah,
I know
oh my
you've
God.
lost weight. I can tell.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I was thinking about you, orchids, right? Your favorite." Guess what did I get for you today?
You look
They were like, "Oh, you
stunning.
love him."
I'm gay, not in a sexual
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
And they're like, wow,
love
this
it.
kid whose life depends on this job to stay in this country is really putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
I do remember
Them in the future, we should like get more like kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
They
it
were-
okay to say?
That company was around longer than Pakistan has been around.
What?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Because Pakistan is this young.
Oh, I
country,
forgot.
yeah.
It's pretty. It's fairly
1940s.
new. The 40s.
Larry
yeah.
David is older than Pakistan and richer than Pakistan at this point. Yeah. But like it was like older than that, and I was the first person that they ever sponsored
From Pakistan.
from anywhere.
Oh.
They're like, "Yeah, we don't do sponsorships."
What?
They're like, "We can get U.S. citizens. Why would we invest that much money into
But
somebody
they're like,
else?"
this guy's putting in 80-hour weeks.
Yeah, and they
And
were
he
like,
buys us gifts.
yeah, like I think we need this guy. And I would like joke around and I wasn't doing stand up or anything at that time.
Yeah.
Either. Like I would just joke around with people, do impressions
You at
of
the
people.
water cooler. Okay, so Joe walks in. Joe walks in on Thursday. This is what Joe looked like, literally.
No, this is so Joe.
Hi, hello, good morning. Everyone's like, Joe, are you sure it's a good morning? You look a little hungover. And then I says to Joe,
it was so crazy because like the partners of the firm, they would invite me over to their house for like movie nights as an intern. Yeah.
were they trying to fuck you? Why
No,
would
they
do
just
that?
loved me that much.
Okay.
Damn,
Wow.
you were
And I had-
killing the
I
hang.
know. And I had this story built up when I
The
was
day
like,
you leave as an intern, them all crying.
Yeah.
they did.
No way,
Yeah.
really?
They
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
a party.
'Cause I
They
also-
have a cake. There's like 30 other interns who are like, "This is for Mo."
Mo's leaving!
Yeah.
Could you get Mo a napkin to another intern? Mo needs a napkin and a coffee stack.
King of the interns.
They're
Did he-
like 6 interns, and then they.
But you
they
were
all-
king turn.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
hate you? The other interns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I remember
These guys.
when. So I interned at the Late Show with David Letterman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brag. Yeah.
Dropping
So
that.
some of us are white, Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you don't understand.
Yeah.
And I didn't even need a green card sponsorship, but I'd still worked late. I was just no, but I do remember this assistant would always have me do this thing on Friday that like you'd only ever pick one intern. She always would have me. It was like charting the ratings basically. And I remember one time someone picked up the phone. They just went, "Okay, yeah, no, I'll tell him."
You're fired.
No. She goes, "Tyler, Sarah wants to see you again on the 12th floor." She was just like so pissed.
Oh, one of
about
the
it.
other interns
Yeah, no, yeah,
said
so
this?
one of the other
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's
no, they were
hilarious.
like so upset. She was like, "She wants to see you again."
You know what was crazy? Now,
Well, maybe they thought you were having an affair or something.
yeah, that could.
I guess,
no,
maybe.
they were like,
Yeah.
you know.
Or
Meanwhile, they don't know that I was going up there, getting essentially put in a closet, and then just like taking like a ruler and like charting.
But they were like, but I wanted to do that, you know.
I was the
But people don't
I
get
was as an intern I was the exact opposite, where I'd call, they'd be like, "Jamie, you got to read this script." I'd put the phone down and be like, "Yeah, John, they want you to read a script." I don't know, they keep asking for you. You have great coverage.
Now that I think back about it, the thing was I like had stories. Because I was the
Yeah.
only person, so the building was on the 4th floor, and like there's another office.
And there's
on the
rivalries
3rd.
between the floors.
There was.
What?
And
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
there
I was
like
kidding.
a 3rd floor.
Oh.
And that was like another firm, and I would take a shit on the 3rd floor. And I had an accent too, you know, so they thought I said 3rd floor for the longest time.
Yeah.
I was like, I go to poop at the 3rd floor, and they were like, "What
Third
the?" Yeah, there's a floor for poop. So I was like, "Yeah, can't poop here, can't like you know." So I'll just like,
Wow.
yeah. And I had like a rapport with the receptionist there too,
Yeah.
because I was like, "Hey, Stacy, how's it going?" You know, blah blah. She thought I worked there, but I didn't.
Oh, you mean on the 3rd
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Because like 4th floor was just one accounting firm. 3rd floor
You're the
had like
intern for every single
Yeah.
company that works
That's how
in that
hard you were
building.
working,
Yeah.
as you're just running up and down each floor.
You're just making
You
the
guys see
rounds
anything?
all day in different places.
Yeah.
You
They're
never work
getting
once.
payroll from like everywhere. They're like, what the
You're
fuck?
like on the 8th floor. If you guys want to sponsor me for a green card too,
Yeah.
that's fine.
yeah, campaigning for it.
Because the 3rd floor, they were like, I swear to God, one time, because I was shitting and it was like bad, and I feel like somebody looked at my shoes and he'd ask the other, he's like, who is that?
Really?
I heard
Who's
them. And I
shitting
was like,
so
"Oops."
bad?
It would have been way funnier if this guy on the 3rd floor you've never met sits down, takes a shit, and he's like, "Oh, is that Mo over there?"
yeah.
Oh my god!
It's the other
You
intern
shitter.
from 4th floor. Like legit, after me, like other people from the office started going to the floor downstairs. To take a shit.
Why?
Because they didn't
stink up.
want to stink up, you know,
Yeah.
like
Fair
our
enough.
office. Because like the 3rd floor had like other businesses. They had multiple businesses.
So there's a shared bathroom.
And they had like so much like inflow and outflow that they
Yeah.
never knew
Yeah.
what company. It was
Yeah.
like like WeWork kind of a situation.
Did you start doing that because you were nervous about pooping on the floor with everyone you worked with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want them to be like, "Oh my God, he's great, but his poop smell bad. We can't sponsor him." You know, I legit felt that way. So I was like, I can't.
Eric, how's your aunt? She getting better?
Yeah.
All right. You in the bathroom. Everyone on the whole floor.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Oh my god! You walking out? Hey, there he is.
It's just silent this
Hey,
time.
give me a 5, high five, huh? They were like, no,
They
no.
get a whiff of it. Pass out.
Mo's been killing everybody on the yeah. But yeah,
That's a big the nerves about pooping at certain places, especially as an
always.
intern. That was like, you'd have to be so calculated about like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
who's not on this floor when, so that I can go there.
Dude. Oh, the worst job ever for that was door-to-door sales. I
Pooping?
did door-to-door sales. You go out from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. knocking on doors. Where do you poop the whole time?
yeah.
Fast food.
Where
I don't
can you
know.
poop? No, I didn't.
You never poop.
There was no solution.
Oh God.
You
What
you
were
could
you selling?
occasionally, if you were near like a public park, because you got like an hour break for lunch, so you could like kind of find a park nearby and run and poop there and go back to your route. But I mean, it's so rude to ask someone.
Oh, yeah,
to
you
poop in their
cannot.
place.
It's
And when you're walking that much, it's kind of like cardio, like running. Like it makes you want to poop more.
Yeah. Also, it's like being on a date for
Just
like
showing
a
up
first
to the.
date. Yeah.
Do you guys wanna buy-
Yeah.
You considered solar
What were
energy?
you selling? Solar energy?
Solar panels.
You could save
Dang,
40% on your energy bill.
I was selling because I did sales work for an accounting firm. I
Yeah.
was selling accounting services.
Okay.
So that was door to door as well. I'll make
Door
cold
to
calls.
door?
Really?
Why?
Yes. I would go to businesses.
What?
Knock on it and be like, "Hey, is your manager or owner around?" And I'm like, "Are you happy with your accountant?"
Yeah.
You know, like, "Oh, do you want like a third perspective? Somebody take a look at your books." Yeah. And I'll like hand over, cards. I was a very, very good salesperson.
Yeah.
My first year, my sales were close to $1 million.
What?
Yeah.
Do you get?
Wait,
did
are you
get
serious?
Yeah, I did get commission. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I figured out this thing.
selling this tax? That's yeah.
What's the thing you figured out? You've got a
somebody,
trick.
yeah, somebody told me this story. They were like,
Sell me this pen.
yeah,
or whatever.
They're
it
like,
is.
sell
What
me
is the
this.
thing?
Yeah. No, they're like the fire extinguisher story. They're like, there's this guy, he made fire, or he was trying to sell fire. I don't know if this is true or not, but this was the story they told me. He's trying to sell fire extinguishers. Nobody was buying them. They're like, yeah, we don't need it. I think we're fine. We'll be fine.
Does it involve arson?
No.
Okay.
And then he went to the Senate or whatever, and then he was like, and he made it mandatory, like through legislation or something like that. And then it
That's
was
why
mandatory.
everywhere has fire extinguishers now.
Yeah, I don't quote me on this. It could be wrong, but that's what somebody told me.
Okay.
And then they were like, yeah, you gotta find one deal that's gonna make, all these deals. So what I did was I went to this non-for-profit organization that did grant writing for non-for-profit organizations, and they never had like good accounting books that they can like accurately give them funding. So I went to them and I was like, I can help your clients if you just let them know that I have this good accountant that can clean up your books. You can then send them to me, and then I can do their books at a cheaper rate if they come from you, if from your reference.
Yeah.
So to them, it was a win-win situation. They'll get their books perfect. It'll save them time, and then it would look good on them when they're telling these non-profit organizations, yeah, we have resources for you. You can go to this accounting firm and they can help you out. The people were benefiting because they were getting a discounted rate than they would have if they would have gone anywhere else. We were benefiting because we were getting all these accumulated clients.
An insane amount of clients.
Wait, how's that like the fire extinguisher?
Because through one deal, I made sure that solidified. So like everybody else.
A stream
Yep.
of income.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
And
Yep.
people that needed
Yep.
accounting.
Through
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through one deal. Yeah.
Okay.
That was somebody told me.
I
and
thought you were
like
going to
that.
say, and then I passed legislation.
I
And
went
then
to the
I
state
told-
senate and I said it's
I
required.
lobbied for years and years and years to make accounting services
mandatory.
mandatory.
For businesses.
Yeah.
There was a bank that we had this thing with. They're like, hey, if you get a loan with us, we want financial statements, but we want it from these couple of. You can't just do one, so they had to do a couple of accounting firms. They're like, you have to get them done from one of these three people. And yeah, one of them was us, and we were the cheapest, so people would come to us. Think smart, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think smart, not more.
I guess you can come up with better ideas for your job when you work 95 hours a week. Because you burn through everything else.
Yeah. No, this was like after I got fired, this was the next job that I got. They were like, well, we don't need accountants, and you're not that good of an accountant. I know you can talk. So if you want to talk it through somehow. And
we don't need accountants, and even if we did, you're not good at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
wait, did they kind of invent that position for you? Or really? That's how good you are at job interviews?
Yeah. That was the birth of that. This is how good I am. Somebody asked me this question at a job interview, and I got a job right after that question.
Really?
They're like, okay, yeah. They're like, okay, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be and why? This was an internship.
This is the real question?
Yeah. What would you say? If you were a tree.
An apple tree?
Why?
Because they taste good? I don't fucking know.
What about you?
If I were a tree?
Yeah, what kind of tree would you be?
A money tree.
Why?
Because there's money on me.
Okay. This is what I said.
Because then the business would be sustainable forever.
This is what I said. I was like, I'll be a pine tree because pine trees go really tall, but they're the only trees. They're like one of the tallest trees, but they're also the trees that their roots don't grow down. They grow sideways to give them grip. More grip. So basically what that translates to is like, even because I want to apply that to every aspect of my life, even my career, I want to reach the heights of the corporate ladder, and I really want to do that, and I want to see myself at the highest position ever. But also I don't want to forget where I come from, and I want my roots to be like really established into like the core of the business and what they stand for in the community. So yeah, that's my answer. And they're like, yeah.
And how much of that was complete bullshit out your ass?
100%. I have no clue what pine trees do, how their roots grow.
Is that true?
even if they're some of the tallest trees or no. I have no idea.
If there's some of them.
Yeah, but at that time I was like, that makes sense. I was like, I've seen a pine tree and that grows tall.
Just create
Let's
facts
go for it.
to use in an analogy.
That is kind of genius.
Pine trees are the most.
He's not gonna fucking look it up unless he's a pine tree expert. And
Go home and we're like, what is?
He
was
lied.
like, well, actually,
Well, I want to be a pine tree because they're the most creative trees, and also they use accounting services.
I want to be a chestnut tree because they're the smartest.
I want to be an
and they get along with everyone.
I want to be an oak tree because their roots go left and right, and on their roots they kind of like spell out debit and credit. So they're like, oh shit, yeah.
Okay, we could use this guy.
They did tell me like one interview they were like, hey, tell us a joke.
Yeah.
So I came up with an accountant joke.
This is pre-stand-up?
Yeah, it's pre-stand-up.
Okay.
They were like, oh, like, tell us a joke. They, like, closed everything, and they were like, okay.
Actually?
Yeah.
I'm going to
They're
be
like,
honest. Accountants sound like the worst interviewers based on these questions.
100%. 100%. They were like, tell us a joke. So I was like, okay. There's a very...
You're like 3 Jews walk into a bar.
So, do you guys drink Pepsi?
An Israeli soldier has a sword. There's 3 children in front of him.
Yeah. Do you guys drink Pepsi? Let me tell you a funny story. No, I was like, okay, so there's a very famous guy. He's very rich. He has like kids. And, every day before he goes to work, he opens up his cabinet, looks inside, and then closes it and locks it. And he's a very famous and rich accountant. And he goes to work. And then he dies. And then his kids distribute all of their property equally amongst each other. But then there's the only safe that's left. And they're all fighting over it. They're like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And they all give everything to charity because they're like, it has to be something very important. And that's the reason why our dad looks at it every morning. And
You made up this joke?
yeah. Okay. And then, everything happened. And then they like opened it up. And they opened it up. There's a paper inside that said left-hand side debit, right-hand side credit. It's a very accounting joke. And accountants would have laughed at that. And they did.
Oh, they did? And it worked?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Wow, that bombed.
I don't understand. I'm not an accountant.
Because that's like a very like big thing. That's the first thing you learn in accounting.
The debit's on the left and the credit's on the right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
It's like being a mechanic, and there's a paper and it said on it, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
That's fun.
Did
So
you? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that is funny. That's good. That's actually
okay.
really funny.
That's very funny.
Thank you.
A lot of
thank you.
a lot of setup and exposition, but but a good punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like like
You need the setup
But yeah.
there. Yeah, it's important.
apart from stand up, you need longer setups
Of
to
course.
build tension.
Yeah. I do have a
Yes.
question though. Did
Yes.
you come up with that on the spot when
Yeah.
they said tell you a joke?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I come up with a lot of things on the spot.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Has anything you've told us
Come up
today
with
been
something.
true at all?
100% has
Okay.
been true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The dog disagrees, but I'm telling the truth. That it, no, 100%. Why would I lie to you? You've known me for such a long time. I never lie to you.
Looking at the
Probably like that.
the.
I would never lie to you.
What was Pakistan like growing up there?
Great.
Great.
Life was great. I was secluded.
You had servants. Did you have a
Yeah.
house with a wall?
Outside, no.
No?
When I was growing up, things weren't like that bad, so we didn't have like walls around the house, but it was like classic how you expect like rich houses to be, marble floors.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we
Damn,
had
that's
marble
rich.
floors, yeah.
Damn.
Marble floors,
Fuck.
high ceilings,
Yeah.
like way too many rooms, way less people,
Yeah. Yeah.
We had like 6, 7, 13 bedrooms.
What?
Yeah, 6 downstairs,
You said
7 upstairs.
Oh, 13 total.
Oh, total.
Yeah.
Okay, because you
Yeah.
said 6, 7, 13.
And you're
Yeah.
one of 4 kids.
Yeah, but then we also lived in a joint family in the beginning.
Oh. What,
Yeah.
joint family with who?
So like my uncle, my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
That's why I got to see, richness.
see.
Yeah.
I see.
Because that was my grandfather's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and it was great, that was great. I was famous, so that kind of helped. Kind of famous.
Yeah, you're a child actor, right?
Yeah, I did
Oh,
acting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was a child actor. I was so bad at sports that my parents, but not my parents, my teachers are like, we
They
have to
enrolled
do
you.
something with this kid. So they like put me in a play. It was Jungle Book.
Uh-huh.
Are you mad at that dog, Jamie? I could see him visibly just be upset. Just like,
It does sound like someone is beating their dog.
really?
It just does this. It just fucking does
The dog?
this sometimes,
Yeah, but it's fine. It's quiet now.
yeah. I think it's registering.
Oh, yeah,
Well-
100%, but that's fine. People don't have that. I mean, I
Not to
think.
listen.
No, but I think white people might enjoy this more. If there's like
Dog
dogs
barking.
barking in the background.
As you described Pakistan.
yeah. Well, I don't want to listen to this man, but I heard Timmy in the background, and I was like, well, this is close to home now.
I like the dog.
I like the dog. Let the dog speak. Put the dog on the microphone.
Anyway, you're telling a story about child acting because you were bad at everything else. Is that what you're
I was
saying?
bad at sports. We have like 2 big events in our growing up, like in our school. The annual function, which is like the theater play, and the annual sports day. And that's how you get, attention, girls, whatever, right? I was so bad at sports. I desperately wanted to be a part of the annual function. And I was just a hyper kid. And my teachers were like, we need to do something with him. So they put me in a play. My first play ever was Jungle Book. No lines, no nothing. I was Mowgli. They put me in an underwear, naked. They played the theme music of Jungle Book, put me on stage, and they were like, yeah, just dance.
Yeah, what do you mean no line? Isn't that the main character?
Yeah, no lines.
Why?
They were like, yeah, no, let's just do that.
Just dance instead?
Yep. Like literally, they were like, maybe.
You sure
like,
this was not a dance class?
No.
Okay.
It was a theater play. There was like literally 25 people on stage.
How long is it? A normal hour and a half?
No, there were like other plays with it too. So there was maybe like 5 minutes or so.
Okay. It was
like
like a
each
showcase.
class-
It was like a
It's
showcase.
Compilation.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Like there was a couple grades, 1 to 5, and then 6
And your
to 8. Yeah.
instructor just didn't give a fuck.
No, they're like there's 25 people on stage.
Yeah.
I was Mowgli. The rest were like trees, rabbits, like a carrot, and like dumb shit like that.
carrot.
I was the only one. No Baloo, no Bagheera, no nothing. Just Mowgli
you
in a forest
doing that.
Like, yeah.
And were there any practices before this, or
Nope.
it was just roll up,
Nope,
dance for
just,
5 minutes?
just like, hey, put this on and go
And that's
dance
how good
in
you
front
were.
of, like,
That
thousands
a
of
scout
people.
was in the audience.
Yeah, they were like 1,000. No. I did that. That was my first time.
Okay.
And then they were like, okay. Then they kept putting me in theater in school, so I was doing that. And I think I was like in 5th or 6th grade. There was like a film shooting, TV shooting happening outside, like my house.
Yeah.
And they had like gathered all these kids around. We were playing cricket, and they're like, hey, kids, gather around. We just want you to do insertions. So this guy's going to talk to you, and you guys are just going to act like you're listening, you know? So every kid was just like this, like listening. And I was the only one who was like,
Actually pretending you're listening.
yeah, like, oh, you know, just like overacting.
You're like elbowing the guy next to you.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, that was pretty good. Am I right? And then the director was like, hey, kid, come over here. Do you act? And I was like, yeah, I do. He goes like, oh, I'm doing this theater thing. Yeah. I'm doing this play for like TV. Because we had like plays, like 1 episode plays every Eid, where like every kid would gather around and just watch that. Because we only had 1 TV channel, by the way, at that time. So he was like, hey, I have this, like, it's a small part if you want to do this. So he called me in for what I know is like a table read. So he gave me a script. He was like, hey, just read these lines. And the kid had a backpack, and he puts his backpack down, and, you know, he's like, he said some line. So I was like looking around, and he was like, what are you looking around? I was like, oh, never mind. And he had his backpack. So I picked up his backpack, put it on, got on the table, and I did the whole scene, like put the backpack down, and I was like, you know, did the lines, and he was looking at me. He was like, yeah, I just wanted you to read it. And I was like, oh, my bad. So I just sat down and started reading. And then he was like, okay, how about you read the other thing and the other thing? And then he made me read some other lines. So he goes like, okay, do you want to play the lead? And I was like, yeah. So then I played the lead just after that audition.
What? After that audition?
Yeah.
And this plays in the whole country on every TV.
Yeah.
Did they have
Just one
any
TV
other submissions or auditions?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that was probably promised to some other kid. And he was like, no, I want this kid instead.
Oh.
And then I worked with that director specifically for a while. And I worked with that director specifically for a while. And then after that, I started, you know, getting like other roles. And to the point where it was like too much, because it was like single cam and it was inside a studio. And my parents were not invested that much. They were like, just have them pick you up and drop you off.
No way.
Yeah. So they will come, but it won't be the actors. I will hang out with the crew. So the crew will come, since it's like inside a studio. They had to be there a couple of hours before everybody comes in, because they have to do the lighting and the stage.
So you'd be there so early?
I'll be there so early. And then I would leave with them. So I would be there so late.
Oh, my God.
And I was a kid, and I was like, this sucks. I hate this.
Yeah.
Acting sucks.
Acting was.
And then it was like single cam. So we had to do, you know, like one shot here, then over the shoulder, then like, you know, like a wide shot, then like a 3 shot.
Were they paying you?
Yeah, and I got to see 0 of the money. I was under 18. They couldn't write me a check. So they wrote my parents a check, and I have no idea how much even I got paid.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I hate this. So then I stopped it. There's this director that I still, like I'm like, fuck, I should have worked with him. He was like the only guy who was like promoted method acting.
Yeah.
And it was like this, like Slum Dog Millionaire kind of themes were like very famous at that time. Those like mostly the roles that I was getting, you know. And then this guy was like, hey, I have this like great piece I really want to do. But you have to like method act. Are you willing to like not brush your teeth for 30 days and like, you know, just grow your nails and, you know, play in the trash. And he really wanted me to get into the character.
Needed you to method act for it? And what did you say?
And I was like, no.
And that's kind of when you were on the way out.
Yeah,
anyway,
and then he looked at the other director, who was the first person I worked with, who was like, you have to work with this kid. He's good. And he was like, he looked at him like,
what the fuck? He's not even going to not brush your teeth for a month?
And then I was like, no, I'm not willing to do that. I looked at him and was like, this kid is not willing to do that. Why would you bring him? I was like, let me talk to him. He talked to me. I was like, no, I don't want to do this.
How old were you?
Yeah,
Like
how
12?
old were you?
15 maybe
Okay.
at this time.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do
That's
this.
a lot of not brushing your teeth.
I know.
Yeah, you're 15.
like-
you know that's weird.
But
Yeah.
now I'm like, I think back on it and I was like, oh, that would have been an
Great
experience,
opportunity.
man.
I don't know. I should not brush your teeth for.
I don't know. I would have learned so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah,
That's
I would have
true.
been like, great. So then I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. Then I wanted to be an
And you got
accountant.
blacklisted.
Pretty much. And then I was like, I just want to be an accountant. Came to America, wanted to do accounting. My last semester here, I was like short of one like credit, 3 credits, and they were like, you have to take this general course. And I was late to register, so the teacher was like, okay, there's like these 10 things you can do, and write a paper on it. And if you do, I'll give you extra credit, and you can probably pass this class. And it was like called like everyday interaction in life. It was a communications class. One thing in there was like audition for a theater play and write about your experience, because they wanted you to go out there and like experience communication in daily life or
Yeah.
whatever. I auditioned
They wanted
for
you
this
to
play.
live.
Yeah, pretty much, and write about
The
it.
class was life.
Pretty much
Daily interactions.
and write
Yeah.
about it. How about you talk to a stranger to order a Starbucks?
Yeah.
And say a fake name and see how that feels and
Yeah.
write about it. So anyways, I did that, and
Did you get the part? in
I got the
audition?
lead.
You got the lead.
And I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then I did it. And then I was like, holy shit, why did I ever leave?
I like acting. Yeah.
And then I like applied to all these places. And then I still remember I was in a Target and I was looking at like a brown man on the poster. And I was like, man, I would love, even if I get this would be huge. And then I got a call immediately right at that point from this casting agency. They were like, hey, we saw your portfolio. We think you're great. By the way, never submit it. We think you're great. We want you to come in. Also, total scam.
Yeah.
They're like, we want you to come in. We think you'll be great. And I was like, God is listening. I was super excited. Don't research. It's called John Casablancas.
Oh,
You
boy.
can Google this.
Okay.
They have half a star review on like Business Bureau or something like that.
Yeah.
I walk in, dude, it was the clownish thing ever. I walk in and it was like a theater setting. They had a PowerPoint slide.
Okay.
And they had like, it was like, lights were on. I was like there by myself and I could see other people by themselves, but then I also see parents with like little kids. And you could tell like the amount of Botox they had there on their face. Like you knew that they wanted to be actors and they never became one. So they wanted their kids to be actors. So
Right.
they
Yeah.
like brought them to this thing, like hope in their eyes. And I'm there. And this guy comes in and he looks exactly like Kingpin. Like from like Daredevil.
Yeah.
Just bald, gold chains, gold watches, and he walks in. As soon as he walks in, lights turn off, strobe lights everywhere.
no.
Really?
And he goes like, yeah. And he was like, music playing, PowerPoint, there's something on this. And he was like, had a microphone in his hand. He goes like, who wants to be famous? And everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? And he legit had plans in that thing. Because the first person he asked, he goes like, how badly do you want to be famous? He goes like, well, I care about the art. He goes like, not good enough. Get the fuck out of this place.
Really?
Yeah. And the guy left the place. He's like, oh, holy shit, I think I gotta go. And then everybody got serious. They're like, I don't want to be kicked out. And then they asked people, much do you want to be famous? Very much.
Oh my god.
And then he like
I
started
care about the art. Get the fuck out.
and then he started showing like famous people. He showed like Flo from Progressive. He was like, that is one of my clients. Do you know how much he makes? $1.2 million a year. Do you want to make money? The guy goes like, well, I'm not really doing it for the money. Get the fuck out of here. Not good enough. He kicked him out, and then we were all scared. We're like, I want to be rich and famous. And then he invited everybody over to, like his like room one by one, and he wanted them to do monologues. And same thing, as before, I just made some shit up at the time,
Right.
started crying. I was like super into it. He was like, just playing with his gold watch. He was like, great. And then they were like, well, just so you guys know, we only select one person, and that's it, because we have like a limited roster. We really want to call you, right?
They call everyone.
Yeah. So it was definitely a scam. So they call everybody. So just like everybody, I got a call. I was like, oh my God, Dad, I'm gonna make it. You know.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
I go
You
in
have to like
sit.
pay them, or this is an MLM somehow.
Yep. So I go in. They're like, "You're great." They couldn't stop talking about how good that monologue was, and you know the enthusiasm you showed when he said, "Do you want to be famous and rich?" We were like, "This is the kid." And then I'm there, and they're like, "Well, before we can send you out on auditions, are you unionized?" And I was like, "I don't even know what that is." I was like, "Okay, we can help you with that. And before we send you out auditions, you have to take these classes.
Okay.
Usually they're
Okay.
$15,000."
Okay.
But 50% discount because of your talent.
7,500.
7,500. I was like, I can't pay that. I was like, okay, you know, blah blah. $4,000. Like literally,
Negotiating themselves
they
down.
can't. They
Okay,
can't.
fine. We'll pay you to do the class.
They legit.
$40. Give me $40. right
Legit.
now.
She went back and she was like, okay, name your price. How much can you pay?
No way, really?
Yeah.
What did you say? A number?
And I was like, I'm not paying for classes.
Oh, nice.
I've
You
been doing
knew.
acting for a long
Thank
time.
God.
you
Thank
knew.
God you-
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, fine, I'll take it. Can I call you back? And like, you know, so I just like went back, blocked their number, and I was like, this is bullshit. Then I was like, I gotta find some way to do it. And then One Direction was huge at that time. And I saw Zayn Malik, so hot, right? I saw him and I was like, okay, maybe that's how I get into show business is through music. So then I auditioned for The Voice. I was like, you know.
Really?
Yeah. I can kind of sing. So I was like, okay, let me audition for The Voice. And then I auditioned for The Voice.
Where were you living? In Minnesota?
Minneapolis. Yeah. So before the main audition, they have this pre-audition where they call everybody in, try to like vet them. And I was at that audition, went in 7 a.m., didn't talk to anybody because I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it. They aren't. I was so cocky. People are doing practices on the side, like la 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 la. And I was like, I don't need to do this shit. I think I got this. I picked Usher's Climax to be the song that I'm going to sing. Which I don't know if you know is a falsetto that starts right away. Just like the word says, climax. It is Usher having a climax before the song even begins.
No warm up.
No warm up. And I was like, I got this. I'm already confident. Right before I walk in, this girl walks out with a golden ticket, and I was like, "How'd you get that?" She goes like, "Oh, you know, I just sang the song." And I was like, "What song did you sing?" I was like, "Maybe I'll change my plan."
Right before you walk in?
Yeah. I was like, "On the spot, I'll sing whatever she's singing." And she was like, "Well, it's not about the song; it's about the confidence." I was like, "Sister, don't say more. I got this." Just walk in like this, you know. God. Everybody's singing, and I'm like, you know, yeah, whatever. And then my turn comes in. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't practice. I didn't drink water. 7 hours, 6 hours in the line. I have to
I'm
start.
dehydrated. I'm not well. I'm not ready.
I have to start with a falsetto.
Yeah.
Immediately, voice cracks right away. I'm like, they all laugh. They all start laughing. They're like, "What the fuck is this? This cocky guy is laughing, right?" And then they felt so bad. They're like, "Oh my God, so sorry, so mean. We shouldn't do this."
Sorry we laughed at you.
Yeah.
Are these the actual judges or like the pre-judges?
The pre-judges,
Yeah.
the producers of the show.
Oh my
like
God.
I legit heard this woman go like, "That's mean. We're so sorry. It happens to the best of us. How about you go back again?" So I was like, okay. Dude, I tried the second time exactly the same way as the first time. Not even a single change. I was like, "Ah!" Like you could see a tear running down my face. I just walked back and I was like, well, I guess singing isn't for me.
Oh my God, that's one of the funniest fucking stories.
Dude, I walked out and I still remember I called my dad, and then my dad gave me this idea. He goes like, why don't you look at other brown people, you know, and you like DM them on Instagram and be like, hey, help me out. And I was like, I can't do that. He was like, okay, then just see what they did.
Yeah.
And I legitimately Wikipedia'd Aziz Ansari because he was the only brown actor at that time. And it said started his career as a stand-up comic. At that time, I had no idea what stand-up comedy is. It's Monday. I'm at work. I'm looking up this thing, you know. And then I started looking up stand-up videos, like some Laugh Factory videos. And I was like, okay, you just go on stage and say funny things. And then I was like, okay, how to become a stand-up comedian? Oh, start going to open mics. Okay, open mics near me. Oh, there's one at Acme at 8 p.m. Okay.
Oh.
This is like close to like end, like 4 or 5 p.m. 4 or 5 p.m., I find out what stand-up comedy is. 8 p.m., I do stand-up comedy.
Really?
Yeah, for the first time ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did it go
Sign
well?
up. It went great. I was like, I did an accent, and they were like, that's how we see you guys. And I was like, thank you. Thank you so much. And that was like
And
7 years
Acme
ago.
is like, because I've done that open mic.
Open
It's
mic,
not
yeah.
an open mic. There's like,
No.
like 150
Humongous.
people
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
there's
It's
like
in a great
300
Big
people.
show.
Yeah.
300 people. But here's the thing. I've been on stage for all my
Yeah.
life, and everything, like kind of like trained me to be there. And
Yeah.
then I did there. Yeah.
You know
I was
what's funny
excited.
is all these things that you tried to do, it really does show that when you were in that room, I want to be famous. You're
Yeah.
like, you were telling the truth. And you're
Yeah.
like, that guy's got it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
And that guy is willing to pay $15,000. Let's not give him a discount at first and see what he does. I'm like, do you mean 50,000 rupees? I can do that.
And now you're a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, and that's how we got here.
Look at that.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Full
Really,
circle.
really came full circle there.
It really did. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us for
Yeah, of
this
course. Thanks
session
for
of
having me.
therapy.
Thanks for coming
Yeah.
to therapy.
Was this supposed to be therapy?
Yeah.
You didn't even, that's how good it was.
Wow.
You didn't even realize.
That's
I feel like
how
a
you
new
know it's
man.
good therapy is you don't realize.
Yeah.
that
You
don't
it was
realize that it's
at all.
therapy.
Is that? Yeah. It's good therapy when you walk out and we're like, I didn't pay for that, did I? Yeah. They're like, yeah.
You did. We're going to send an invoice to your
Yes,
office.
we charge $15,000. Does that work?
Yeah. My office is actually on the 3rd floor. If you guys want to send an
Third
invoice.
floor?
there.
We'll
Yeah,
send it
if
to
you
the
want an
third
invoice
floor.
on the 3rd floor. Yeah.
Great. Or you could just pay what you want. That works too.
Yeah.
If you can't do 15,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Anything you want to plug, Moe Yaqub?
No, just follow me on Instagram, Mohtasham Yaqub, Mohtasham Yaqub. It should pop up. I'm gonna.
We will
start
also
posting,
link to
like-
it and everything.
Yeah, I'll start posting other. If you like my stories, there's more there. All right.
I bet.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Moe Yaqub, thanks for coming on.
Thank you
joining
guys.
us.
Bye.